Hey there, and welcome back in. Thanks for joining me today. We are going to paint a fuzzy little bumblebee that has been inspired by an actual bumblebee that's been hanging out here. So you're just going to draw a basic shape of, let's say, a cashew or a croissant or maybe a squash, whatever you prefer. We're just obviously doing a loose version of a bumblebee, just like we like to stick with loose versions of all the things we paint around here. While the yellow is still wet, I am adding some black in here as well. And we're just going to let it blend in together. We're going to do stripes. And you can do kind of like the back side of the bee is often white rather than yellow, but for simplicity's sake, I kept it yellow and we can just pretend it's pollen. That is my story and I'm sticking to it. So just put the stripes in wherever you would like it. Again, we're not going for super realistic. We're going for somewhat recognizable. Most people are going to be able to look at this and say, that's a bee. They might think it's a wasp. That's okay. Okay, I don't know what happened there. I think I added some more black and then it just spread out more than I anticipated. So letting it completely dry, and then I'm going to come in and fill in some more of the yellow spots. You know, we're not going to redo. I already had to redo this once because I forgot to press record on a kind of important part of the painting. So we're just going to add some yellow in here so we can get our stripes back the way we want them. If you lean towards perfectionism, this one might not be for you. In fact, my channel might not be for you because if you've been following me, you know that I just leave my mistakes in because there's lots of them and they're inevitable. Okay, what I'm doing here, I just brought in a smaller brush and I'm just making him furry. I just want some little hairs sticking off of him all over to make him just a little more cute. And I'm doing the same with the yellow paint as well. And sticking with the yellow paint, you can see I'm just painting little lines in here to kind of blend in the yellow with the black. And again, it just, to me, it gives it a kind of a little fuzzy, furry feel that makes him feel less scary and more adorable. So that's what I'm doing there. And you'll see, I'm going to speed you up through that because it's really just a series of super tiny little lines. And I'm doing that with the yellow, and I'll do it a little bit with the black as well. And you'll see later I'll do even more with the black. And right there, you can't really see it, but I did a little black oval for his eye that will accentuate later, a little bit more later on, so you can actually see it. Putting in a couple antennae, very loose, and also with the legs. Now, you can study the anatomy of a bee if that is something that brings you joy. That does not bring me joy. So I'm doing just the basic little indications of legs. And if you know anything about bees, you will know that they are not accurate. But if you're like me and just know basically about bees, they're going to pass for legs and they're going to be just fine. So do it as accurately or as loosely as you'd like. Now, bringing in my white gel pen, this is a Jelly Roll size 10, and I'm just kind of doing a little highlight in the eye, kind of around the edge, and then a little highlight in the center, or kind of on the side. And coming in now, I've got some Payne's Gray on my brush, and I'm doing, again, a very loose wing here, a couple wings, one showing in the background there a little bit, and did not study a bee's wing. I'm just drawing in some lines, and then I'm going to dip into my metallic paints now, using gold to outline and just kind of just go along those lines that I just did in Payne's Gray. But I really want it to be shiny, and I will tip my paper here in a little bit so you can actually see the shimmer of the metallic paints that I love. This is only the second time, I believe, I've used my metallic paints. So I'm coming in here with that gold and also adding more little lines like we did before. Am I overdoing it? There is a high probability that someone might think I am. And I might think I am too. You'll see when I tip the paper, you can be the judge. What do you think? Here you go. I mean, she's pretty shiny, and I actually like it like that. You can tell me if you would do less or more. And somewhat finishing it off. There's a couple more finishing touches, but we're going to splatter. And you can see I got a lot on the table and even got some on the paper. But I did yellow paint first, and then I got my metallic gold and did some splatter that way as well. And that is all dry, and I am coming in with my Micron size 8, and I'm just going to go around our wings and give them a little bit of definition, going around the wings and then also a little bit loosely where the gold lines are, just to give a little contrast and, like I said, definition as well. I think it just makes the wings stand out more to where you don't have to tilt the paper to see that shiny gold. It just adds a nice touch, in my opinion. You know what? I like to finish off my paintings with ink quite often. And this is where I decided to add in, just like I did with the yellow into the black, I'm adding black into the yellow, just kind of giving it more fuzzy feelings and just kind of a messy, just a little messy look. You know, she worked hard today and she's showing it. Anyway, I think she's adorable, and I hope you do too. But either way, here is the final look at the shimmer. What do you think? Too much? Too little? Would you do it differently? I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you in the next video.